Of all the phenomena in our cosmos, nothing is more mysterious to our science than the human brain.
The brain is one of the most complex things in the universe that we study.
To understand the brain, we have a huge way still to go. And we need to have giant steps to improve what we understand and how we call certain functions.
It's 100 billion neurons firing. We make all these decisions, we're multitasking and so on, and we consume less than a 100-watt light bulb.
The brain's complexity puts neurological diseases beyond our grasp.
It's a very hard problem. These diseases are not understood. So if you don't know really what causes the disease, how do you want to fight it? So the problems that lie ahead are huge.
We have not yet begun to answer the questions. We have begun to look for the right questions to ask, but we're still a far way to go to start answering them.
One brain disease plagues the lives of 50 million people worldwide: epilepsy.
If you have regular seizures, then it's really like having your life taken out of your hands.
This loss of control is what frightens most people.
The type of seizure I have culminates in a blackout. If I'm not on the floor already, I fall over, I shake heavily, I bite my tongue, and I wake up a few minutes later in a very dazed state. And for the people around, it appears that you're in your death throes.
Every 5 minutes, a child is born with epilepsy. And we know that there is no science now to cure it. The science exists to help you live with it.
Epi ist ja nur relativ häufige Krankheit. 1% von der Bevölkerung hat das.
Ich bin auch ein Krankenpfleger und arbeite ich in Medizin, aber ich habe nicht so viel Verständnis gehabt dann.
To live with epilepsy is to live in fear.
One problem all of these people face is that they never know when the next seizure will come. Suddenly they lose control, they are unconscious. So waiting for the next seizure is sometimes even worse than suffering an actual seizure.
If you're a severe epileptic, then what should be the most joyful thing, something like holding a child, becomes something terrifying and almost off limits for you.
This random occurrence of seizure is one of the most disabling aspects of epilepsy.
Yeah, I've had patients that said if I knew it was every Thursday morning at between 9 and 10, it wouldn't be such a great problem.
Predicting seizures has not been possible until the team at NeuroPro pursued an insight.
It started with a chat with an idea which we thought was, both Jamil and I thought was far-fetched.
As we looked at the literature that existed, we realized that this approach has never been tried before.
My question to Jamil was, what happens to the anomalies? Is that excess information? I guess he said it goes to a bin. So I said, let's look in the bin. We looked in the bin. You know, here comes out, it could be something of great finding.
I never thought I would be deploying my computer science knowledge into this field. And to my surprise, it is so relevant. When the idea first came about with Walid and I, we took it to Imperial, and we were surprised by the enthusiasm of Professor Chris Tomaso. He took it on board, and that gave us the enthusiasm to take it to the next level.
And they've come along with no knowledge of neuroscience, no knowledge of neural signals and neural chemistry, just coming at it from a very different discipline and saying, okay, well, let's apply these pattern recognition algorithms to the brain.
I think it's the first time in my life that non-specialists came and said, look, I think we can do this. So, you know, I'm very skeptical. But the first analysis they did just knocked me back. It just knocked me back.
I believe they've come up with one of the very first simplistic, high-speed ways of determining whether or not you're going to get a neural condition before it's actually happened.
We have a product that's going to revolutionize brain signal analysis. We take the brain rhythms, we convert them to binary, and when we find anomalies or offbeats, we link them to the problems we are diagnosing.
What NeuroPro has brought to the table was just to find what's normal for that patient. And then, when it's not normal, it's abnormal. and let's just see whether that has any correlation to the seizures in an epileptic before or after. And that methodology works.
Deciphering brain signals was a breakthrough. Delivering hardware to monitor those would be a new challenge.
When we looked at NeuroPro initially, we say we have an algorithm that can predict seizures. Great. But how are we going to make it pick up that information in real time and deliver that warning message? So we set out to design our own headset that complements that solution.
Comfort plays a role because you're going to wear it all the time. Therefore, it has to look clean, it has to look sophisticated. We're going to try to hide as much as possible, but what you will see will have to be really nice.
We want to not hide it, but we want to wear it discreetly. Discreetly still can have a very nice elegance, a nice appearance, and show the value of the technology within it.
The headset sends brain data to a cloud, which detects impending seizures and sends a warning message to any online or portable device.
We're changing radically the fundamentals on every single piece of the project. Starting from the server side, where we are deploying a cloud architecture, we're processing tremendous amounts of data.
We're using new technologies that makes it very simple for any analysis to be performed, and with minimum training and very easy access.
We have to bring with NeuroPro the human side of the technology to the consumer.
The feedback I'm receiving from the physicians is that it's a game changer in terms of being able to access information and be able to analyze it efficiently and effectively.
If I've got a patient and we're doing a therapy control and we record them for a week, it would be very nice just to go and come back and say, okay, there were 10 seizures during that recording. 5 were from the left, 3 were from the right. You know, that would be a brilliant help.
A device that allows some kind of warning gives you control. And the one thing that people with severe epilepsy don't have is control. And if you're granted it, then your life is transformed.
NeuroPro will open the doors to a whole bunch of applications.
I think we are heading towards a very bright future whereby a lot of new discoveries and new patterns empowering us in our personal health.
Ja, kann mir sicher helfen. Ich muss jetzt gut studieren, wie kann mir helfen und so, aber das glaube ich schon.
Certainly from the people we have talked to and the physicians and the sufferers, patients that we have talked to, it will be a life-changing.